ECP, and we've been asked to do a special video. You got it, the people at Galena Farms have asked the star, hey Milo, say hi, to help us do an assembly video for their Amish hives, Busybeesnmore. And you can go on their website now and get 10% off to the end of the year using Busy, B-U-S-Y 2020. So keep that in mind. We've got it out here front on the toolbox too. But we're at my son's workshop, and we're going to put together a beautiful Busybeesnmore Amish hive. So stay tuned for me and Milo and an assembly video for Busybeesnmore Amish hives. Okay, we're back here now to show you the components of the Busybeesnmore Hive, the Amish-made hives from Ohio, made by Galena Farms, and you can check it out on galenafarms.com. We're going to start and show you some of the components of the hive. We'll start out here with the telescoping roof. This is beautiful aluminum top that's put on here. It's also eastern white pine that the hives are made out of. So you can see this is a very high quality made telescoping cover. All of it's beautiful eastern white pine hive bodies. Also the inner covers. We'll show you everything here and go step by step on how to put these together in this video. The other thing that's really nice about these hives is they do send you screen bottom boards. And screen bottom boards are great because you can remove the coroplast bottom during the heat of the summer, and this allows you to actually cool the hive without having to open it up and put too much venting in. So I really like the idea for the covers here. The coroplast lets you go back to the solid bottom board as soon as the weather gets a little bit cooler. It also enables you, we'll talk a little later in some other videos about doing mite checks and things like that as it falls through, and then you can also leave that open when you're doing mite treatment so the dead mites will drop through also. So there's a lot to be benefited from having a screen bottom board, so that's a big plus. Definitely want to look at having screen bottom boards as a possible. The other thing that comes along with this is a queen excluder. When it comes time that you don't want your queen moving up and you want your honey supers to be just pure honey, they come right along with a queen excluder. You've also got the inner cover. This goes on top of your hive, which is great, and then your telescoping cover goes over top of that, and it do give you a second entry or a top entry, depending on whether you slide the top back or not. Lets the bees have a second in and out button, so they got an upstairs and downstairs entrance. So we'll show you a few other things here with the hive bodies and the frames and foundations next. Okay, we're back to show you the hive boxes, and the star decided to join us again. He said, hey, I need some more camera time. We're going to show you now the deep hive boxes and the medium hive boxes that hold the honey super or the honey frames. So the deep boxes are about 9.5, 9 5/8 inch deep. They hold the deeper frames that you'll see right here. We'll talk to you in just a minute. But this is where the bees put their brood or their babies that they raise their babies on. So the deep hive boxes, again, these are eastern pine. They use box joints, which is great. They're grooved so that you're already ready to set your frames on these. And they go together real simply with some wood glue we got out front here. And you can simply nail them together. Or if my son's shop here, we might brad nail some of them together. And you'll get a nice box like that. So it's the deep frames are there. And then your super frames for that hold your honey. And some people do use these as brood boxes too. I prefer the deeps myself. And you can do the same thing. This will go on top. So your deeps go on the bottom. Your mediums, again, put right up there. And nice handles, if you'll notice, on both sides. On the smaller sides and even the longer sides. So these are great and very well quality made. And then we'll look at the frames next. And next we're going to show you the frames. The frames and foundations are really what's got me loving Galena Farms. They use nice Cell-Tech foundations, heavily coated in wax. You can even smell the honey and the beeswax on these. The bees readily adapt and start creating comb on these foundations. I absolutely love them. And you got the dark black, which makes it great to see the eggs as the queen bee lays the eggs. Great for the black background for the deep supers, the deep hives. And then when your honey supers, they have the yellow. Again, smells like honey, and you can smell the honey wax. This is great for the bees to put your honey onto these. So these are the more the medium size or shallow supers for you. And again, they use New Zealand pine for the frames and foundations. They simply lock in together very simply, which we'll be showing you how to assemble those. And then you'll have the bottom rails that go there. and you end up with a beautiful framed hive. Okay, so we'll show you each one of these components since we've covered it, and we'll let you see how we put these together. Okay, now we're going to show you how to put a hive body together. We've already got the bottom board in place. That's the nice thing about these Galena Farms Busybeesnore Hives is this is already put together. It comes ready to go. You got your removable bottom board with Coroplast, and I'm going to go ahead and put the deep super together first. Couple key things is, since these are box joints, we want to put the nails right in the center of each joint, okay? With a nail, or you can brad nail it if you want to use some equipment if you've got that. But you can simply ask for or get you a nice 2-inch nail. I use the brass 2-inch nails. They do have those. Request those when you order your hive in the notes. Great thing about this is it really locks in tight because they're really quality made. So we'll next show you how we put these together, and make sure you use some wood glue too. We pretty much put wood glue on all 3 sides as we put these together. So stay tuned. We'll move this bottom board and we'll put a hive body together. The first thing I do before I start assembling these and nail them together is I'm pretty liberal with the glue. I hit the glue on each one of the sides. So you got 3 sides there on each one of the box joints. It spreads out. You don't have to put too much there, but any extra glue you can always smooth down with your fingers. So I do that all the way around on all 3 sides. Put a little bit of glue. That helps lock it in and helps to make it a little bit more weatherproof. Okay, once I've glued the box joints on all 3 sides, each side up and down and flat, I take my rubber mallet, line it up, and I give it a little tap. Put these in very tightly fit, which is great, makes for a really nice fit, and I'll put all 3 sides together, and then the 4th side at the top for the deep. Okay, now my son Blake's decided to help me out here, which I greatly appreciate. We're going to show the proper placement of the nails. We use 2-inch brass nails. You can get those from Galena Farms also, which I did. And the first thing I want to show you is the joints. These box joints on these Amish made hives are phenomenal. He's already put 1 nail in there. You can see the appropriate placement. And you put 1 on each one of these joints. And we did the wood glue already. We put the box together with the rubber mallet, which makes a great way not to bang or bend up your hive. And then we're going to put each one of the nails in. So Blake's going to put another nail in here. And just go all the way around the box and put a nail in. And the nice thing about the nails that you can get from them, it doesn't split the corners or the box joints. So all the way around, all 4 corners and at each side. So you'll put a nail here, then you'll put a nail here also right below it. So you'll go through and hit each one of these spots up and down, up and down. So stay tuned. So the great thing about having a son that has a workshop, he can actually help you put together your hive equipment. So if you got that, take well advantage of it. Blake's putting the rest of the nails in this Amish made Busybeesnmore Hive. So stay tuned and we'll cover some of the other assembly parts of this hive and show you the finished product. So Blake is finishing up now, putting the last few nails on, and we'll put the medium super box together next. Then we'll go on to some frames and foundations. Okay, now we're going to finish up the last medium box. We went ahead and put that together, but I'm going to show you a little tip. Blake's going to show you how we put glue down on the inside edges. The reason why I do this is makes a more secure box, but the reason I like it is when you have hive beetles, if you have hive beetles in your area, it gives them a crack not to go into. So the wood glue doesn't hurt your bees at all. Put a little nice bead of that, and then Blake will show you how he runs his finger down to smooth that out. Just like so. Get your paper towel, wipe your finger dry, and you're good to go. Little helpful hint. Okay, now we'll go ahead and start assembling the hive. We put both hive boxes together, the deep and the medium hive box, and that's your choice whether you want to go double deeps and a medium, or if you want to go, say, a deep and 2 mediums. You can pretty much order your hive exactly how you would like to have it. And they come in 8 frame hives, which is what I prefer, and 10 frame hives. So it depends on your preference what you would like. Bees always like to go up and down, not side to side, so I really prefer the 8-frame hives myself, but it's just a personal preference. So we put down the screen bottom board. We've got the Coroplast removable cover in this case. We're going to take the deep next. Probably the most common starting assessment is you start with a deep. Here's the 8-frame hive. You line that right up. It just sits right on top of your baseboard. And then from there, you'll put in your 8 deep frames and foundations, which we'll show you next how to put those together. We'll show you on the mediums. So we use the black foundation again, so you can easily see the eggs and the larvae from the baby bees. So we put that frame in, and we'll put 8 of those in there and space those out accordingly. Then we'll put the medium box on top of that. Now, one thing you can do when it's time to put the honey supers on, as soon as they start building some up on their foundations, it's a great idea to put in, if you choose, a queen excluder. And the queen excluders go between your hive body and where you're going to put your brood, and between your honey supers. So those go down like such, just directly lays on top, and then your honey super box will go top. This way your bees can come up through the queen excluder, but the queen honeybee cannot. So that keeps her from coming up and down. Then you'll go ahead and put your inner cover on. And if you notice, these do have a hole put in them. So you can take a mason jar, poke little holes, and you can put the 1-to-1 sugar water or 2-to-1, depending on the time of the year, goes down next. Of course, we're going to put our medium frames in there, of course, first. And we'll show you that as we show you how to assemble a frame and a foundation. And then last but not least, of course, you got your telescoping cover. So it's going to look something like this. So that gives you a good idea. You just line those straight up. Beautiful Amish made hives from GalenaFarms.com. GALENA farms.com. So we'll let you see us putting together some medium frames and foundations next. Okay, now I've laid out the components to putting together a frame and foundation for our medium super. So you got the sides, the top and the bottom, the Celtec foundation covered in wax, and I've got 4 of the 1-inch brass nails. So we'll take a look at putting those components together. And I do go ahead and glue all 4 corners with some wood glue also. So we'll show you it put together in here in just a second. Okay, my son Blake is now going to glue the frames. A little bit of glue on each corners. That's the bottom. There's the top. I'm going to take the sides now. Use your rubber mallet to put those in together. Rubber mallets are great for putting together the frame hive bodies as well as the frames themselves. Great high quality New Zealand frames. New Zealand pine is what the Galena Farms Busybeesnmore Hives are made out of. These Amish made hives from central Ohio. I am very, very partial, I will say, about their frames and their Celtec foundations covered in beeswax. My honeybees love them. So then we'll go ahead and nail these next. We take the 1-inch nails, center those appropriately, and tack those in each top as well as each bottom. So there's the placement of the bottom 1-inch brass nail, and my son Blake's going to finish this up by putting the last top 1-inch brass nail in. And this foundation will be complete, and we'll just have to put the Celtec wax foundation in next. There you go. Okay, once your foundation's been glued and nailed, get your medium foundation here. Your deeps are black, your mediums are yellows. Makes you think about honey. Put it in the bottom groove and then push in a little bit right in the center, and you'll see your foundation will slide in. And as you slide that over and in, you'll see it will pop in to the top groove. As you get it into the top groove, you'll see that the foundation will be centered perfectly, just like such, into your frame. So there you go. A beautiful Galena Farms Busybeesnmore New Zealand pine Celtec foundation covered in wax. And again, these are my favorite. So we'll go ahead and show you the completed hive put together, and we'll call it a day. Any questions, just check these out on GalenaFarms.com. You can use the Busy, B-U-S-Y 2020 till the end of this year for 10% off your order. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned and check out these beautiful Amish-made hives. Okay, we're going to wrap this video up. I want to thank everybody from Milo the Star to my son Blake, letting us use his workshop today to put together this beautiful Busybeesnmore Hive, distributed by Galena Farms. Check it out, galenafarms.com. New website will be up shortly. In the meantime, you can go to busybeesnmore.com and check out these hives and use BUSY Busy 2020 for 10% off your order. So special thanks to the Star Milo as he lays down here and takes a little nap and relaxes. My son Blake, and thanks to Galena Farms for allowing me to do this assembly video. ECP, over and out.